All right, but let's stick with the NFL, obviously coming off of Sunday football games and the Cowboys. Let's talk about Micah Parsons.
What now? What now, Micah?
Rob G, jump in. Micah Parsons, and we know the Cowboys are awful. They got drubbed again. They got beat up by the Eagles, 34-6. Their defense just is not good. Micah came back finally, right?
Defense. I ain't got no D. That's offense.
Yeah, it's offensive is how bad it is. But jump in on Micah Parsons. We got sound too.
Sure. So after the game, obviously everyone's talking about their struggles, and specifically with Mike McCarthy, because his contract's up at the end of the season, and there's been a lot of scuttlebutt that he could be on the hot seat, not just at the end of the season, but even before the season's over. So a reporter asked Micah his thoughts on the, idea of Mike McCarthy getting the axe this season, during the season. Here's how he responded.
Mike's on the final year of his contract, so outside there's, of course, going to be questions. What's the sentiment inside the locker room, and what do you tell people who are wondering about whether McCarthy will be your coach next year?
That's above my pay grade about if Mike is coaching again next year. But, all coaching aside, Mike can leave and go wherever he wants. But the guys, I kind of feel bad for guys like Zach Martin and guys who might be on their last year or on their way out, because that's who I wanted to hold the trophy for. You want to win games and do great things with those type of legends who put in more time and work than Mike McCarthy ever did. So those are the kind of guys that I have so much sympathy and hurt for.
Dude, what? What?
I know what.
Seriously, like is that like that's what you're gonna do to Mike McCarthy? Like the guy won a Super Bowl.
What you mean? Mike about to get it too. If Dak Prescott got it too the week before.
No, but I'm just like, but you could do it diplomatically and just say, you know what I mean, the coach situation is nothing I could really do. You know what I'm saying, like to dress it up.
He was heading the right way.
Right.
It's above my pay grade, blah, blah, blah. He was heading the right way.
And then it's about, my teammates. I get that sentiment about the veterans and the teammates, but it just, what is that?
You know what it is, in all honesty? Okay, let's be fair as journalists and present the other side, his clarification, because he said, he tweeted out.
What happened on this interception? Is there a penalty on the Rams?
We'll get that too. I was looking at you. He said he tried to clarify. Rob G played this clarification.
So we try to get the sound on that one, but we're a little short-staffed today. Here's what he said, though, in his clarification hours later on his own podcast, because, Micah is a member of the media now. So as soon as this clip went viral, he said, go ahead and check out my podcast and hear what I got to say about it. He said, quote, I never once threw or even intended to throw Mike McCarthy under the bus. The question that was asked about here in the Dallas Cowboys, did I see Mike McCarthy in our future? I said, that's above my pay grade. Didn't elaborate any further than that.
Well, the problem is that's the part he's not being fair with. He did not stop. I mean, he did not stop there.
He should have stopped there.
That's where, again, hey, man, that's above my pay grade.
He's like, I'm only worried about the veterans in the locker room. I don't care about Mike McCarthy.
Absolutely was within his rights to say, because truth be told, it is above his pay grade, right? I ain't paying the man. I don't know what they're going to do. That ain't got nothing to do with me. I just know we lost the game, and I'm mad for my player. That is exactly where he was going. The issue with this is you start to have a lot of guys who have multiple microphones in their face. And what I mean by that is you're going to get the one in front of your locker. That's just a part of the game, right? You're going to get that one after a game. You're going to get the podium. Hey, come talk. But also, you keep putting the microphone in front of your own face willingly with the podcast or willingly with the lives. What used to get John Morant in trouble? Toting guns in live. If he was toting guns in his living room by himself with his boys, whatever, we would have never known. It's that you're toting guns on Instagram lives. So all these microphones and these cameras, they keep putting them in their own faces, and that's where you're going to have blunders. Rob and I know this. You keep doing this, he and I are going to say something stupid, say something we didn't mean. We do this live, and there's going to be something where you didn't mean it exactly like that. I want to take it back. And Micah keeps doing this because I got to have a podcast, got to answer these questions, got to go on this talk show, got to do that. And that's where you're going to get it. And you're not necessarily savvy enough right now, he's still very young, to understand how to get out of questions. or to answer certain ways, or to make sure your point is being exactly articulated in the way in which you want to. One of the things I try to do, Rob, when it comes to Twitter, which not as much now, but especially historically, I try to take an extra beat and really ask myself, am I comfortable with what I'm about to tweet? So that if I ever got to stand on business with it and look at it and say, oh, well, my boss or somebody, oh, you said this, and I can be like, yo, I'm going to be real with y'all. That's exactly how I felt. That's exactly what I meant, and I stand by that. I want to be able to do that and not have to back. Well, I didn't mean it. Well, no, I was trying to say, well, what I really meant was, because, no, if you look at it from this angle, I don't want to do that. And that's what Micah's doing because he's talking so much, answering his answers. And you got to be savvy enough to know when and when to say things. And that, to me, ignoring Dak as a top 10 guy, you know that's going to get out there.
It's bad. It's bad. And this is why, look, I'm not of the school athletes should shut up and play. That's not what I'm talking about. What's the benefit to your team and your teammates by putting this out
all the time?
When you can offend people, make people feel a certain way towards you. Like, what's the benefit? There is no benefit to the team. That's the problem I have. There is no benefit. The Cowboys don't get anything from this. And if I'm Mike McCarthy, really, this is how, like, you would just be like, there's no reason to do it. Mike McCarthy's still your head coach.
Yeah, and
right?
and Dak's still your quarterback.
Dak's still your quarterback. What are you trying to say or do that you what do you get from this? This is like self-inflicted.
You know what a phrase, shout out to Mama Dub. Mama Dub always says, just because you can doesn't mean you should.
And this is what I've been saying. This is why we talked about it a little bit before. This is why you should trade him. You should he might not, and you, first of all, you can get a haul from him because he's a talented player.
Without a doubt.
Okay, so this is not, I'm going to disparage him. I'm going to do a Sean Payton on him and all that. No, this guy can play. But you're not going anywhere. You got so many holes on this Dallas Cowboy team. If you can get a couple of picks, top picks for him, remember, they got to sign him, right? They just signed the quarterback and the wide receiver.
Yeah, both of them paid
right?
a bunch of money.
Big money. And he's due to get paid. I would move on. I would just say, you know what? As good as he is, we need more players, and he's just become a distraction.
He's becoming that. And again, the worst part about this is it's self-inflicted. He's doing this to himself. The way, again, in which he's answering questions, the way he's got his podcast, he's talking about this. And now, to be fair to Micah, Dallas ain't nothing but a bunch of distractions. CeeDee Lamb talking about the sun in my eyes. Jerry Jones mad about him. Well, build a whole new building. The sun's in everybody's eyes. So you got Jerry Jones mad at CeeDee. CeeDee mad at Dak. Dak ain't mad at CeeDee. CeeDee mad at Dak, but they not mad. We're best friends now. Jerry Jones trying to get radio people fired. Like the Dallas Cow, you know what it is? It's the show Dallas. It is nothing but an 80s sitcom or drama Dallas. And Micah is now adding into the unnecessary self-inflicted wounds that have become the Dallas. Matter of fact, can we not talk? Can that be a platform I run on if I was running for a political office? Can we not talk about them anymore? Can we not talk about them? Can we only talk about Rob Parker? Teams that actually deserve it? Like you mentioned, the Steelers, right? Justin Fields, I was high on him. Russell Wilson playing well. I am comfortable talking about him. The Lions, they deserve it. The Ravens, when they, you know what I mean? The Bills can get. I'm tired of talking about the Cowboys. I want to reclaim my time. Shout out to Congresswoman Maxine Waters. Can I reclaim my time, as she said, all the time that we got to talk about the Cowboys? Undeservedly so.
Period.
I'm sorry, I digress. My gosh. They ain't did nothing to deserve it. What have they done?
I just think at some point, like, how in the world is Micah, like, either you got to be more mature, but I just don't see the path long term because of the financial obligation that you owe a guy like him.
And you
need so many things. Look at your defense every week. They're giving up 34, 35, 40 points every week. This is a team that won 16 straight home games. This ain't the same team.
The worst part about it too is that if they were to decide to go with what you're saying, they're getting rid of arguably the actual most talented player, the guy you can, for the most part, nobody has a perfect game every game, but the guy you can kind of depend on. And that's the worst part about this is that they're going to have to get rid of the guy.
But even with him, they can't stop anybody, right. And that's the scary part is what I'm trying to say. because they got so many holes.
I think their excuse is gonna be at the offseason for them they're gonna say, well, we weren't healthy. We didn't have DeMarcus Lawrence. We didn't have Micah for most of the season. We didn't have forget the cornerback's name right now. They're gonna be able to say, we didn't have these guys. Boy, what could have been had we did? You know what I mean? When you try to make that excuse, that built-in thing for yourself, we all do it. I ain't go to the gym because my car was acting up, so I ain't go to the gym.
But we were talking, but even coming in, we knew that they didn't do enough in the offseason.
Mm-hmm.
Like people said, what did the Cowboys do?
They didn't do anything.
They needed a running back.
And they waited too long to sign CD.
They needed a running back. They don't want to sign Derrick Henry. He's available. He wanted to play in Texas, wanted to go back. Oh, yeah.
They didn't want to keep Pollard.
Right? And instead they go back and get Ezekiel Elliott because he was cheap.
Now he's mad.
Right.
He ain't showing up for practices, the meetings.
He's late. They left him at home.
They left him at home. Yeah, it's just a bad situation overall in Dallas right now.